Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, we're going to take a look at a different kind of pastry beer. Paczki Beer is a 5% blonde ale brewed with Dooped Donuts from Eastern Market Brewing Company in Detroit, Michigan. We've got a few weeks till Fat Tuesday, but that doesn't mean that it's too early to indulge. Today I'm taking a look at Paczki Beer from Eastern Market Brewing, and if you can still find this on shelves, I think I'd be a little surprised to hear that. This beer was originally released last year. It was the first time it came out, and I remember trying to find it only days after it was announced, after it hit shelves, and no luck. Now I'm happy to have gotten it this year before it evaporated. So without further ado, let's take a look at the label and we'll get it into a glass. But first I'd like to thank my executive producers, Brian Kramer, David Jeffries, Vinny Cat, and Cam Freeman for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe just buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.drafttherapy.com, where you can get early access to these videos and a few other special perks available only to patrons. Let's take a look. It's a really simple label, not a whole lot going on. It's got the traditional Polish colors of white and red. On the top it says Paczki Beer. Underneath that it says Eastern Market Brewing Company, trademarked. Underneath that it says brewed and canned in collaboration with Ferndale Project in Royal Oak, Michigan. Well, that's weird. Ferndale Project is in Ferndale, so this must mean the Roke space. I'm just grasping at straws. If we look on the sides of where it says Paczki Beer, they have different kinds of paczkis on here. They have raspberry, that's the one that's checked on this one. They have lemon, strawberry, prune, blueberry, apple, custard, and other. And if we turn it to the back here, it's got the nice style guide here, which I enjoy. It says style blonde ale brewed with Dooped Donuts, alcohol by volume 5%. It says hops, Mandarina Bavaria, and adjuncts donuts, raspberries, vegan Bavarian cream for flavoring, has the state of Michigan, the Crafted for All logo. And underneath that, it says born on February 3rd, 2022. This is 1 pint. Today is the 12th, so this was just canned as of about 9 days ago, but it just hit shelves earlier this week. Dooped Donuts, if you're not familiar, is Eastern Market and Ferndale Project's kind of pastry or bakery, I guess. They make donuts. If you go on their websites and try to order online, generally you can find donuts on there as well. I'm going to grab a Tiku glass here. We're going to crack it and put a nose on it. Like I said, I've been looking forward to trying this beer because it's been a year since it came out last time, and I couldn't get it last time, so let's put a nose on it. It has a really kind of, well, it definitely has a raspberry aroma. It has like a, like just fresh raspberry aroma. Like you can smell the, almost like you can smell like a sugary, you know, aroma in there, but almost like the seeds too, like that picky kind of seed. I cannot say that word for some reason, but let's go ahead and pour it. It's coming out a lot different than I thought. It's coming out really pink, like a peach pink out of the can. And it's getting murkier and hazier as I get to the bottom here. It was pouring kind of hazy from the beginning, but if we're looking at the head here, I'm so excited. It's got about a finger of head. It's pretty white. It looks like the bubbles are really condensed. There's not a lot of larger bubbles in it. It has a really good looking head. If we hold it up to the light here, that's pretty peach to you guys. Looks kind of pinky peach. To me, it looks kind of the same, except that I'm getting more of a darkness through the middle, not the beginning, but through the middle because of the lights. And if we put, it looks really hazy. I mean, I can just barely see a shadow through there. Putting a nose on it, just a really fresh raspberry aroma, like a raspberry jam kind of aroma as well. So let's go ahead and try it out. Cheers. So we start with the mouthfeel. Always start there. It's got a really kind of light mouthfeel, actually. There does seem to be a little bit of like a powdery coating to it almost. Like it feels, there's like a thickness there. It's light. It's not super crispy. It's kind of light, but it's just got, there's just like this thickness there. While the mouthfeel is light, again, it's weird. It's a weird contrast, right? Because you can't think really of light and thick at the same time, but it just has like this coating on your tongue. Let's talk about the flavor here. The one thing also to note, just before I start talking about the flavor, the mouthfeel doesn't have like that smooge or that thick kind of, you know, mouthfeel to it. It doesn't have like an Arvon thickness to it, like some of those Arvon fruited sours are, heavily fruited sour style beers. It doesn't have a thickness like that. So the flavor. So I talked about mouthfeel enough. Let's talk about the flavor for real this time. The flavor has a bit of a, I feel like the Mandarina Bavaria hop, or yeah, hop combination. I don't know what I was thinking about. It lends to a little bit of a citrus flavor in there, but it's like an acidic flavor that really helps out and balances the sweetness. It's not overly sweet. While the nose, the aroma had that more raspberry jam kind of aroma, it doesn't come across so sweet. It has a little bit of an orangey, kind of zesty, acidic kind of flavor to it, but it also has a nice smooth raspberry flavor too. It's not overpowering on the raspberry. It's like raspberry and citrus kind of just mixed together. It's just a really pleasant flavor overall. It's not like overpowering in the raspberry department. Again, that acidity that's in there is not overpowering. That's just got a nice kind of, it's just got kind of like a nice addition to it. Almost enhances the raspberry, but tames it so it's not overly sweet and overly in your face. That's just a killer combo. It's really nice and mild and smooth, and it would be really, this would almost be, as I poured it this time, I can see some more stuff churning into it, and I can see on the edge of the glass or where I've already drank, there's like some kind of sediment on there, which I'm guessing is from the, you know, what's actually being held in suspension here. I would really love to see this. I know this is like kind of a seasonal thing. It goes with Paczkis and Fat Tuesday and all that stuff. And but I would like to see, I really feel like I'd like to try this in the summer. It feels like it'd be a really refreshing kind of fruity change of pace rather than all the IPAs. It would almost fit with like a shandy. I mean, it's not quite that light. It's not quite that acidic as a shandy can be, you know, because it's like, you know, it's got the beer, but it's also got like lemon juice or lemonade or however, you know, whatever kind of shandy it is. But it's also a little bit heavier than that at 5%. Shandies are generally quite lighter. It's a blonde. I mean, it kind of has a lot of characteristics that remind me of a blonde, but because the aroma is so strong, it kind of almost takes me out of the mindset of being a blonde, but it also has a nice, it just has a nice even flavor. Like I said, you have that acidity from the hops, you have that raspberry jam kind of aroma that really kicks in the raspberry. I just think that nice kind of acidity, like I said, just tames the raspberry. I feel like if they used a different kind of hop, the raspberry might get out of control. I'm not really tasting, actually it does have a little bit on the aftertaste as it kind of sits and I talk about it more and it warms up just a little bit more. It gets a little bit more, you know, exposed to the air. There is a little bit of a pastriness going on in here too, but it's on the very finish. It's on the tail. It's very subtle. But yeah, just really inventive. I love trying beers like this that have that kind of pastry mindset or have that pastry feeling that aren't heavy like a stout. Now, I like pastry stouts and I like stouts in general, but it's nice to get something with that same kind of, in that same kind of family, but light, you know, has a nice sweetness to it, but not overly sweet. You know, I mean, I think that Eastern Market, Ferndale Project are very inventive as it is. I've already, you know, sung the praises of those guys several times on these videos, but I think this one, again, this is another hit. This is another home run. I would pick this up any time of year. I would love to see other flavors. I know that they're going after the Paczki kind of theme here with having the different kind of Paczki flavors, but I'd love to see, you know, like a strawberry Paczki beer or, you know, maybe not a custard or maybe not a prune, but that would be interesting to try too. I'd love to see a blueberry. I think that they could do this with any kind of fruit combination. I don't know if last year's was different, if it was not raspberry. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to try it, but this is a hit. If you can still find it on the shelves, I would run out and pick this up in a second. All right, friends, that has been Paczki Beer from Eastern Market Brewing Company in Detroit. Have you had this beer? Have you had it in years past? Or do you have a favorite pastry style that you know of that isn't a stout? Let me know in the comments down below while you're down there. If you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell. I'm here talking about beer twice a week, 2 times, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite, or you might not know to avoid a clunker because you weren't subscribed and you weren't getting notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries. These guys are Eastern Market in Detroit, Michigan. And until next time, most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. Cheers.